So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. So today's video is on Star Trek. And yeah. So it's on Star Trek, the game for PS3. The game is actually a bit of a interquel. Interquel is a game where, well, basically where it's a story that takes place between, just say, well, it takes place between stories. So this game takes place after the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, and before Star Trek Into Darkness. So, if you will kind of the fans who felt like, well, Spock and Kirk still don't seem like good enough friends yet in Darkness. Like, Spock's and Kirk's sacrifice didn't seem warranted yet. Well, I guess you can add this as a game to say, well, their friendship seems to get better. So yeah, in Star Trek the video game, you have basically the Gorn, basically the lizard man creatures that had appeared in the original Star Trek series, comes back in the reboot franchise after a device known as the Helos device, and stood from the Vulcan. And it's your job as both Spock or Kirk to rescue it. And I play as Spock in the game, so yeah. It might be fun to play as. So in Star Trek the video game, the game has sort of a, well, it's sort of like, how would I describe it? I'd probably describe it sort of like the health system. I would describe it as something like, say, from Halo. Whereas, like, you know, sometimes, like, well, actually, no, wait. Well, cause the gameplay, you have both Kirk and Spock, and whenever one character gets hurt, they will revive your health. And you also have a weapon upgrade system, and also of ways to upgrade, like, whether it is your, tricorder and all that stuff. And the tricorder, is a way you are able to figure out where your objective is. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it, I guess. But yeah, the gameplay is actually rather engaging. One of the best weapons I think in the game, though, is probably the Ravager. It's a weapon that the Gorn use, but also the Starfleet rifle is actually pretty good too in the game. I mean, the story's not bad. Like, you know, like a sort of like, say, trying to help save a galaxy from a alien invasion and all that. As there are certain different types of Gorn. Sometimes there are smaller ones, sometimes there are red ones, and sometimes there are gigantic big ones. The first big one you see, it takes a while. The first Gorn boss fight you see is kind of difficult, but as long as you take your time with it, it can be beaten. And I think it's pretty cool that they're using a classic villain like the Gorn. Because recently I just started watching the original Star Trek, so yeah, I think that's pretty cool to have one of the classic villains in this game. So final thoughts for Star Trek the video game for PS3. I actually thought the game is pretty good. At times it can be frustrating because sometimes you're just you're thinking like, say, darn it, I'm getting tired of dying, and sometimes I'm thinking like, I don't know where to go, or things like that. But in all honesty, it really isn't that bad. You just take your time with it. It really is kind of a very fun, exploratory game. I mean, if you're looking for a game that is just going around just shooting the bad guys, yeah, the game has that. It also has its moments of, like, where you think this is Trek. like mostly just because like the space elements and all that, that's check. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to have more moments of like, besides like, you know, just scanning aliens and, you know, weapons. I kind of wanted to have more moments of like, I mean, although there is moments where like you have to sneak by enemies and at times of like when it comes to sneaking in games, I'm not that great at it. So yeah, there are moments where like you can just, and also there's times where like you have to like sneak by things, and yeah, you can fail those pretty easily. So overall, yeah, like when this game first came out, apparently it was not light. Although I can still see some glitches, like where like sometimes characters are just, when like say a character's talking, like say Kurt's going over your guard, like where he's just spinning his head around in circles, or when Kirk's talking, Spock's going like. The idle animation is pretty kind of cool, funny to be honest. But overall, I'd say, am I willing to recommend this game? Yeah. As someone who's slowly getting into Trek, I just realized I wish it would have been more Trek instead of like some like say like Gears of War. I don't know, man. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.